Let's try that. I didn't do a full reset. Just came back in. I think I know what happened on the YouTube at least. Jason, thanks for letting me know. Um, but it is really acting up this morning. So we'll see. Weird stuff. You get that with the stream sometime. Let's see if it'll reset and come back in. Here's the and the rumble's not wanting to work. So it's just one of those days. Just one of those days. We'll see who can come back in. And one of the I should be back in Southern Fried. SF podcasting is acting up. I'm gonna try to fix it real quick. Anyway, thanks for letting me know. It is just one of those things of life. You battle, and you don't know sometimes. But unless you have a partner on here and you go, whoa. Usually I check those things myself, and you run without a partner, then you get that. So we will try to fix this other one here as we go on the fly. But anyway, have a great Tuesday as you go to work. And I'm going to remove one of these and come back into it. Operation on the fly. You got to love it. Not. All right, let me go back. Fix that. See if this won't fix the let's see if this won't fix the Rumble Studio. We'll see. And it may not. It's just one of those mornings we may have to say, we're out of here. Oh. Yeah, it's just not one. Rumble Studio has been a pain this morning. I think that's the problem. It wasn't me. And that affected YouTube because I go out, I push out to other streams through Rumble. It's not our main one, but every once in a while Rumble will have a trouble. And I think that was it. I don't know if it actually is coming back in on the other one or not. But it is, yeah, Rumble Studio has been a pain. It's letting me know now. You just got to love it. It's absolutely fabulous when you know that you're just having one of those mornings where things just don't work right. You know? Musicians understand this, of which Jason is. Sometimes the sound is just not there. And it makes a musician very angry. It makes a podcaster mad too when you don't have what you want. So sometimes you just have to do a couple of quick operations. If it don't work, then you just move on and you count your losses and you try to say, I'll do it next time. And if it does, it does. And if it don't, it don't. So that's operation number 2. And it may come up this time. No, it's not going to come up. Rumble Studio's down. And that's the problem. So thanks for letting me know. It is just the Rumble Studio, I think, which has affected all the other streams. And that was the problem. So there you go. I don't know if the other Rumble is up or not. Somebody can let me know. I doubt it. It's just Rumble this morning. And I stream out of Rumble Studio to other ones. So that was the problem. So I think the others were okay. Podbean was okay. It never dropped or it never had a problem. But I didn't go back into Instagram because it's already 6:35. So, but thanks for letting me know, Jason. Probably can't hear me now. Oh, join our Cornbread Nation Radio. I need to put that link up for it. We've put it out there, but a lot of people didn't see it. And hey, Steve. And well, he's on Rumble side, so I think it was just the studio Rumble. I think the regular Rumble's okay. Thanks for letting me know, though. Or is Rumble Studio working? I have no idea. I have no idea. You know, it's crazy as a content creator. You know, you get that, so you just fly with it. It's like sometimes, Steve, when you're in that out in your shop and you're trying to make something and it's just not happening, and you start swinging that hammer even harder, and you say, that's not what I wanted. I wanted something else. And you start beating the crap out of it even more. So discombobulated start, that's okay. that's the story of my life anyway. Discombobulated, not always perfect. I'm far from it. Off kilter, all these expressions. I love looking up the old expressions when you get, what people groups said them, were they English, Irish, Jewish, whatever. We got all these sayings in our vocabulary, and we say them. We don't even know where they came from, uh, but anyway, if we're there, then praise God, we're there. So, and I see it now. It's like it was telling me it was not going to do it. So, how are you doing this morning, Steve? How are you doing, brother? I hope that you're fine. It's a good day, and actually, I think it may have brought back some of the other ones. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what survey says. Survey says, are we alive? Is it Memorex? You got to be old like me. Did you hate it? That reminds me when you were, you got to remember now, today, it's nothing. This digital world, nothing. But remember the day when you were record music off of whatever to your tape or cassette tape or whatever, and you thought you had this tape that was great? Yeah. Cattywampus. Yeah, I do too. I've heard that one and I use it. But you thought you made the master tape for your music or something in the order that you wanted it, and you realized that it wasn't recording when you put it in a tape. You go to your car and you put it in there and you're like, yeah, I got my tunes laid out just like I wanted. Remember those days? And you turn it on and it's like nothing. Or even worse, there was a handful of times, only a handful, that my sons decided, hey, here's a tape we can record on. And they used it for their own enjoyment. And I would hear part music, part my boys, part music. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to kill them. You little monsters. But one day, boys being boys, I found out there was some words that I didn't know my boys knew. They decided to have fun day on Daddy's tape deck, and they thought it was funny. So they recorded themselves saying all the dirty words that they knew. They'd say one, then laugh. Say one, then laugh. They'd belly laughing. So I come home, and they taped over a tape of mine that I was going to listen to when I got home. It's kind of I'd come home, kind of deprogram a little bit, put on some music, and then dinner would be ready, I put that in. Well, I was home early that day. I got off early. So nobody home. They're at school. Wife's at work. Put that tape in. And I went, oh, yeah, you never record your crimes. That's right. So I was like, I put the tape in. I went, what? Oh, you little. Oh. So I pulled the tape. I rewound the tape. I put it out. I didn't show nothing. So they get home from school. Wife gets home from work. We have dinner and everything. And I told the wife, I said, me and the boys have got to have a talk about something. I said, it's guys only. Not, don't take it. My wife knew. I said, I need to talk to our boys. And she's like, okay. So I said, hey, guys, I got something I wanted you to listen to. I got some new music. And they're like, okay. They come walking back. I had this, my stereo was in my bedroom, and I had a couch there, it's kind of like a little lounge area. And then we had, obviously it was a bedroom, but they come sit down and they're all just on the edge of their seat. And I just push play and their heads just went down. And I said, don't put your head down. You were proud of it when you did it. You might as well own it. They didn't know what to say. I said, well, y'all pretty quiet today. When you made that tape, you weren't shy. You had a lot to say, and I got the proof of it. I said, and then I told him, well, and you did this, you talked this way. I said, that's the way y'all talk when you're not around me. We had that discussion. Where'd you hear them words? And then I said, and you recorded over my tape. And one of the brothers was like, I told you it was Daddy's tape. I said, you missed the whole point. So the next thing out of their mouths was this, the big eyebrow. I mean, they're already feeling low, and they're wondering if they're going to get a spanking. And but then they said, "Are you going to tell mom?" I said, "No, no, I'm not. It's between us." And I said, "We'll handle it between us." So yeah, they recorded their crimes, Steve. They absolutely recorded their crimes. It was not a good day for the old Cordell boys. Oh, they made sure never to make that mistake again. I'll tell you what's I don't know if it's funny or how you put it, but um, years later, they grow up. That's when you really hear all the stories. Sometimes they don't want you to know them stories still to this day. But they have forgot I was in the room sometime, and they would say, "Yeah, Mom, remember that time? We did this," and she'd be looking at them like, "I don't think your daddy knew that." And they're like, "Oh, we forgot you was in here." Well, that was a long time ago. We're grown now. All that time y'all all devised a lie, including your mom, to get you off the hook. It was always, "Well, I talked to him. I didn't want to see him get in any more trouble. If I told you, I know you'd spank them." So, was I was impressed with anything they said on the tape? Broski Bear. Well, I think for their age, I think shock was the word. I get it wasn't just these little words. I'm not repeating them, but you know what I mean. The little four letter, the smaller. I know it's all words, but the ones you hear more common or used to only hear. But they got into some words that, oh boy, and at school, it was absolutely from school because they did tell me. I went, okay. And I said, "What are you going to do with a word like that?" It was a guy talk because a lot of it was about girls. Yeah, bunch of boys. Some old kid at school, his sorry old daddy or whatever, probably set him down in front of the guy. I mean, really, honestly, there's some stupid people out there that set their kids down in front of porno. And then they come and tell all the other kids, "Hey, let me tell you what I found out last night." And then, I'll be honest with you, they didn't even know what more than half of those words meant. They just knew it was something when you said, you went, "Oh, I can't believe you said that." And they thought it was funny to say it out loud. But they have never forgotten that. I guarantee you. Have y'all ever had, Steve was the perfect criminal. I mean, for a guy that understands about shaving cream and that whole crime spree, I guess he was never caught. But, as he said, amateurs. But there's some people do better at that than others. Obviously, hiding your little sins. Jason, who's probably not back in here, love you, Jason. I ain't talked to you in a while, and I did get if you're still listening, I did get your text about Ozzy. Sorry, I haven't responded. But Jason was the expert at ditching school, from what I understand. He tells a lot of stories like that. I never skipped school. I know I'm a nerd. It wasn't really that I was a nerd. I was scared of my daddy. I'd seen him mad before a few times, and I knew that was honestly probably going to cause me to have physical pain that was on a scale that I would have not I might not have recovered from. It wasn't that I didn't want to. I just didn't do it. I was like, I had people invite me. I was like, do I do it? Do I not? I didn't want to face my daddy. It's like facing the hand of God. That's like, I'm not doing it. Steve, I got plenty, but way less than my brother. I got caught plenty, but way less than my brothers did. Was you the one ratting your brothers out? Oh man. It's just one of those. Yeah, broski. Speaking of mad, Texas demon rats. What a bunch of losers. And they actually think that they're like proving some kind of eternal point. Look at me. I can run out of the state. I can go up to my leftist brothers in Chicago and New York and Massachusetts. Did we show them bunch of squares down there in Texas? Come on. Come on. You know for a fact if you had the power, you'd reset them lines the way you want them. It's the way it goes. It's just the way it is. Celtic says, actually, no, I was just patient with my wrongdoings. I didn't get out of control except drinking. But that was in my adult life. Yes. And that can get out of control, brother. I understand. I certainly understand. Well, broski, I don't think they can go out of state, but they can, according to what I understand, the sergeant at arms, that when they hit that Texas border, they can be arrested. They will not be put into jail, but they will be escorted back to the Capitol to do their job. I want to see that video. And they say they're not going to put them in cuffs. I want them in cuffs, but they don't want. They won't do that because they just want them back. But to see them, if I want to see them in the back of the car with their car, they're probably coming in by plane anyway. But if they had a car, I would love to see the car up on back of a flatbed, being pulled back, roll back, being pulled back behind the cop car with the lights on. Or better that, I know you can't do it, auction it off. Who'll give me $1,000 for this Democrat's car? But the fact that would be forced back, they can't stay gone forever. And they know that. They just want to have their little broadcast moment. Oh, look at us. Look what we can do. We're Democrats, and we can run for the state because we're tired of the racism in our state. You bring the racism. You are the racism. This continued lie that they're there for minorities. No, they're not. They're not there for minorities. Oops, hit the wrong button. They have forever tried to control people. That's what they do. They control people, and they think that that's okay. That it's fine. It would be great though. That would be must-see TV if they were in the back of a patrol car in cuffs and escorted up the Capitol, into the Capitol, and the cuffs taken off in front of the governor. I'm in for that. I am. Do your duty. You know what? You're supposed to act a little different caliber. You should have respect for the office that you're in. And it's not about looking for loopholes. It's about conducting business. Okay, you don't like it. You didn't get your way. Maybe you should find out what the people want from you and try to do that. And you might get elected more. Then you draw the lines. But if you're doing what the people want, the lines may not matter because then most of the people are pretty happy with their government. Not that everybody will be. But if you're doing your job, that Gene Wu looks like a walking crybaby beta on the verge of tears. They are some really weak-kneed looking crybaby types. I mean, they can't talk without, just looking like, it's the end of the world. I mean, and I don't want to offend anybody, but it's the Jimmy Swaggart moment. Oh, I'm sorry. But in this case, they're not sorry. That's just the way they are. It's like, I'm ashamed to be who I am. I wish I'd not been born. I wanted to be a minority so much, but I was born. Or I wanted to be, I wish everybody was like me and could be in their feelings. I mean, come on. Man up. Oh, I just have a real problem with people that duck and hide and and a grandstand and do all that. I'm not a fan of it in no way, shape, or form. Uh, and listen, if somebody says I'm not going to sign up on a bill for these reasons, and it's not a party thing, and their heart, and for their constituents, because who they're really representing. A lot of times these people are doing their own beliefs. It's not even for the constituents. They say that it's really them. But if they said, listen, my constituents is not for this bill, and for my constituents, I believe I agree with them, and I vote against it. I don't have a problem with that, because number one, you're elected to represent them, and if that's the way you feel, then vote that way. But vote. Don't take off out of town and crybaby. You don't have all your blocks. You can't make the rules. You have to agree to stuff that you don't like. Hey, that's life. We've all been dealt a sucky blow. We've all been in the suck. We've all been told, we're going to move you from this job and put you over here, and we're going to change your shift and move you to night shift. We know your kids are on these days with you, but that's where we need you. That's where you're going, and you're just told. And you're told if you don't like it, hit the door. We've all had moments that it was like, this is horrible. This sucks. But we dealt with it. We rolled with it. And we found our way back where he needed to be. These people I hate that. Yeah, brother. Hey, love you, man. Best wishes on the visit to the doctor. I know you need some help. Them old boys or gals, they need to get them sticked here. Telling a Democrat to man up. Might as well ask a fish to fly. Hey, there are some flying fish. So, hey, on the rare occurrence that a Democrat could man up. I just love that scene in The Godfather. I'm a fan. Me and Broski's talked about this. I'm a fan. I like Godfather movies, mafia movies. I do. TV shows. I'm all in. But the original Godfather, 1972, when he gets up and slaps that guy, act like a man. That's one of my favorite scenes in any movie, any show, anywhere. And that's the way I feel. It's the way that God talked to Job. That's what it basically said. Basically said, man up. I mean, quit crying. Gird thyself up like a man. I love that scene. The guy's crying, I don't know what I'm going to do, Godfather. I don't know what I'm going to do. You can act like a man. I've got to do that, broski. I will, I promise. Homework assignment, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. Oh. Well, I can't do it. Rob could do that. It would be a different kind of man up. I'm just going to leave that right there. Yeah, the women are tougher in that party. I mean, look at them. Pelosi knew how to man up better than they can. I'll tell you this. We might not can stand her, but I'm going to tell you what. She definitely manned up over that party because they were scared of her. They didn't go against her. She come in like the mafia. It's based on a true story. Okay. Which I like. I'm okay with artistic liberties. I like to know that it's based on a true story. I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. Oh. Whatever happened to the Libertarian Party? You would think that at least some Democrats, they might not go all Republican, but you would think they would move more to where a Libertarian stands. I don't know. I know there's Libertarians out there, but they've lost any kind of real say so anymore. It seems like. I think they're just all lumped in with independents. That's what they say. Did you see Pocahontas Fall? No, I did. Oh, I did see that. Oh, yeah, she backed all over that. I watched some video of it, and they played it over and over and over and over again. I think I probably watched it at least 10 or 15 times. Oh, what's funny is there's like one guy behind him when you see the video. There's one guy immediately he jumps up, like, oh, goes into action. There's other people just standing there like, okay, she fall. The lib women are complaining, saying they can't find a good liberal man to be with. I wonder why. Maybe because they're all trying to be women. I'm telling you, it's a weak-kneed party. I'm telling you. Even the ones that try to be like the heavies, the tough guys, it's funny. It's like the video of that guy that stopped his car, and we all was talked about it here on the show, and he crossed the street to pick a fight with MAGA, and the cop throwed him down and cuffed him and stuffed him. That's what happens when they try to man up. Pocahontas fell, and women in wheelchair was going to help her. I guarantee you she'll quit leaning up against stuff like that. She tries to act tough. Pocahontas does. She does, but it sounds more like a rant. It's like the crazy lady rant. That's what happens. They don't have a conviction and power. It just sounds like that crazy lefty neighbor you got that screams at you because the baseball went in her yard and you might have damaged her grass, or get off my lawn. It's that kind of, that's the way they sound. And they scream, they screech. It's not even a good scream. I mean, remember when what's his dude tried to do the rebel yell like years ago? What was that dude's name? He was like the minority whip or whatever at the time. Or what was that dude's name? Oh my gosh. She's super Karen. Yeah, she is. And she tried to make that video of their husband about drinking beer. What a flop that was. They can't even drink beer right. I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, there's just, everybody knows that person. And they have done nothing but terrorize people in their lives forever. And they get elected. These people were terrors as young people. They were the nerds in school that says, I'm going to tell all of you, you didn't do your assignment. I did it. See a guy talking to Pelosi and asking her about insider trading. He said something that triggered her. I believe her eyebrows hit her. Dude, what a description. See you, Michael. And with that, he leaves the room. Man, you got to overcome a lot of ground. And I mean a lot of ground. Oh, what a sad state we have. It used to be we argued these points, but the parties were a lot closer because the issues weren't as divisive in most cases. And if we were apart, we came together in such a way as government worked. Now it's just, and it is. Politics has always been dog eat dog, but now it is. Let's get the numbers and tell the other side, blank you. So if that's the game we're playing, and that is the game we're playing, and if you understand that, then you're going to do everything you can to stay in power, because you realize you can't work with the other side. It's very, very, very little that they work together on anything, and it's usually something like school crossing day or something. I mean, we come together and they all clap. We're recognizing today as school crossing day. Well, you can't go any deeper than that, because if you did, you wouldn't agree. Well, you'd have to, man. There's a couple of facelifts in there, at least two. The parties were a lot closer because Democrats still wanted the U.S. to be a country. Well, true. I never cared for Ted Kennedy. I never cared for it. And he was kind of that red faced. He loved to get in there, this bellow, pound the dais, and But behind the scenes, and I got this from Cal Thomas, the great Cal Thomas, who worked in Washington. I don't know if he still is. I think he's still living, still working there. Been up there a long time, and he's seen it all. But Cal Thomas had this to say about Ted Kennedy. And I had a lot of problems with Ted Kennedy. I mean, of course, he's dead now. Not the least of which was the way he left that girl, and that's just something that's you can't let go. I mean, he left her to die, and people know it. They know it. He split, saved his career, and she passed. I mean, that's just the way it is. But Cal Thomas did say this, that even though he was hardcore about a lot of stuff, if a veteran came through his door, he would do everything he could to help. And he did not seek, he didn't go brag about it. It was just private. And he said, I've seen it many times. And that included those that were against him in politics. He just said that he was going to do what he could to help the veterans. So, yeah, sometimes you find one thing that you like about somebody. And I could say in that I like that about him, that he was, he at least stepped up for veterans in some way. Maybe not in every way, but if on his people, especially in his district, they would come and they would see him and say, I'm having trouble. And he would make the wheels turn for them to get them the resources they need to get approved for something, or, he'd help fast track paperwork for disability, whatever. And for that, I say, good. Doesn't mean I liked his, the way he was or what he did or anything about him, but I can say I appreciate that, Cal Thomas is a man that wouldn't lie about that. He's, much like, I think it was Dana Perino, and whether you like George W. Bush or not, she said that she was with him on many Walter Reed visits, and some of those families were very angry at the president. They told him straight up how they felt about him and his decision to be in certain wars and how much it cost their son. And she said he never shirked away from it. He stood there. He kept quiet. He let them have their vent and grieve and expressed his sorrow. And he would go to the next room. He didn't skip rooms. And that is your job as a president. That is your job. If you're going to command men to go into battle, you've got to go there and face it. You've got to face it and not try to make it good for you, because it's not good for them. You got to keep politics out of it. You got to go in, like Joe Biden would say, the buck stops here. You got to really let the buck stop with you. You are the commander in chief. You walk in and you face that family, and you say, I'm sorry for your loss, or I'm sorry for this, but and when they turn on you, and some of them would hug him, some of them he would hold while they cried on his shoulder. And some of them were very angry. Some of them told him to get the blank out of their room. They hated his, blank and guts. And he would just respectfully, yes. And he would turn and go to the next one. And he said to her that if you can't do this, you have no business being a president. And for that, I will say amen. If you can't make that walk, if you can't face those families and those soldiers and their forever injuries and wounds and all that, don't get in office, because you're going to have to command men, send men into battle, and women nowadays, whether people believe in that war or not, or that conflict or whatever it is. There's going to be times like President Trump calling in those military strikes. It's dangerous in the air too. Even with all their technology, things can go bad. Big heavy things in the air like to come down. Sometimes they're held down. And if that had went bad, he would have had to answer to some families and say, listen, as commander in chief, I believe this was the course of action to take. And I'm sorry that it resulted in the death of your son or your daughter. And so, if you're going to be, I think before anybody becomes president, I think they should have to walk through Walter Reed and Arlington Cemetery, and no politics involved. I think they should have to go and visit. I think they should have to sit down with former presidents, and it should be a class before you become president. If you want to run, there's a qualifying fee. Oh, and you got to do this. We're going to bring all of you through. It don't matter if there's 40 of you. We don't care. There's a cutoff, your percentage, whatever. We're taking all of you through the class because one of you in this room, and I would bring them all together from both sides, one of you is going to be president of these United States. First of all, I think you'd have to pass the civics test. If they don't know the history of the country, they got no business leading the country. I think they should have to absolutely go walk through Walter Reed or something like it, but that's generally the place they go. I think they should be, made to sit and listen to these people's stories. And I think they are to sit with the former presidents and, listen to them as they talked about the shining moments and, yes, the toughest moments of what it is to be president and what it feels like when you have to make that call. The call to send people's sons and daughters into sometimes certain death. And I don't care who you are. That's gotta bother you in some way. But I think they should all have to do that. I really do. And there could be 2 or 3 other things. I'm not saying it would make anybody better at it, but I think you should have to do that, a requirement. If you're going to be the commander in chief, and I would take them to Fort Benning or some fort, and I would have them see what boot camp is like, or wherever boot camp is, and the ranger training, whatever it is. Breaking news: Kamala still can't answer a question. No, but she could sell a book. You gonna buy that book, broski? It's probably only $40. It's 107 days. Maybe it's $107. That's if you get an autograph. But I just think that they ought to have to do. They ought to have to, they ought to have to answer questions about the Panama Canal. Can you answer a basic civics test about the Panama Canal? Can you understand the history of World War II, World War I, Vietnam, whatever? And, I would bring, they have to sit in front of faith leaders and listen to their concerns and what they expect out of leadership from a faith standpoint. I just think that'd be a great thing. Listen, it bothers me. Used to be you would have someone that had been around decades and they've been through a lot of stuff. Most of them had been through some sort of offices, but now we're starting to see, and President Trump's an anomaly. He's done it pretty dang well. He's made some mistakes, but he's pretty savvy, and he's better the second time around because he understands those mistakes he made. But if you've never been there, I mean, nowadays it's just all about money and power, and getting elected is it's all a marketing game. These people, some of them have done nothing in their life, even as a politician. I mean, they've just existed around. They have no idea what, but you never know. I mean, who's going to get elected next? I mean, we laugh about it, but what if an AOC, Steve, hold yourself, stay calm if you're still in here. I know you got to go to work. I'm fixing to leave too. What if AOC became president? What if? I'm not saying you change your mind on some stuff, but I think that lady needs to be brought through some stuff. And I think at least you plant those seeds. And I think that would be a good thing. My gosh, if she became if she became president, Steve would get in better shape. He's not in bad shape. He'd get in better shape, and he would even cut his hair. Ooh, the shame of it. And he would join the Secret Service to be her bodyguard. By the way, I still can't get over. We've got something coming up for you, Steve. We got something coming up for you. We'll announce it later. Maybe Wednesday. Probably Wednesday. This whole turfing thing still cracks me up. Yeah. Could you imagine Kamala on the witness stand? What she knew about the auto pen? Well, it's a pen. I mean, it's not like a stick pen. It's kind of like a writing pen, but it doesn't really write right. I mean, it's a pen. You can get them in different colors. Oh, broski, broski, broski. He's probably already on his job, but I'm fixing to get off here. Sorry for the messed up start. I don't know what happened. Rumble weird this morning. Just when I think there's Rumble's doing great, no problem. I love Rumble. I love them, but sometimes, and I do the same thing every day. It's not like I set it up different. But on the YouTube, I think I shouldn't have put those streams in there. I think when I went premium, it shut off the audio. And I didn't think about that when I hit premium. I was just going to click some premium hours. We have to do that. So we're not trying to, it helps Rumble and brings in premium subscribers. So, but the next time I won't put those other streams in there. So I think that's what it was. So I am going to get off here and go to work. Got to go help my wife get up, and then I'm going to head to work, and got to go down to the big Dalton today and take part in a run through on something that they're doing, a program that I've agreed to be a part of, and volunteer to be a part of. Find out what my part is. And we'll see tonight. Should be sports and racing tonight. I believe so. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. It'd be racing sports. We'll talk about that big William Byron win. I told you he's got speed. I didn't think it'd be this race. Thought it'd be Larson. Things are heating up. 4 races left or something like that till the playoffs. Sports, football's getting closer. Will the Dallas Cowboys re-sign their star player, or will he leave or be traded? Will he ever? Cook was over here yesterday or 2 days ago. He's not happy about it. He's a Cowboy fan. But we'll see you. We'll see you this evening, this afternoon. We'll probably get an early start around 5-ish for the racing hour, and then right behind that with a short break, sports, and then we'll probably do something else. Probably do a MAGA report. I did it yesterday, but I did it on Rumble only, and so sometimes we do that. All right, take care. Let's get out of here. Thanks for y'all being here, even with all the issues. I've got issues. It's like sometimes you just throw the pen up in the air like, it's one of those days. All right, let me get my music back up. Take care. God bless all of you. And I mean that truly from the bottom of my pea-picking heart. We got a new logo coming out for the store. And it's along those lines. Well, bless your little heart. But I think I added out, well, bless your Southern fried heart. That's our way. We're going to have that up in the store soon. I've got a couple of things like that. Kiss my Southern fried grits. We got a couple of logos coming. It ranks up there with none ya business. We got to get. I just got to get time. And don't forget the Cornbread Nation radio show. It's out there. I loaded up 2 more shows last night into the stream. Took out one. and I left the. We just right now we're just doing a continual loop, about 25 hours of programming. I took out a little bit. It is about equaled out. We're fixed to add some new songs up in the mix, and it sounds great. I tune in several times a day, and apps. We'll get those apps soon. I got to find out where that's at and work with them and find out. But we'll get those apps and put it. I just put it on my homepage as a link, but there's an actual downloadable app that's coming for Google Play and Apple. So we'll get that to you as soon as possible. Thanks for your support. We appreciate you. Don't forget the Southern Fried Coffees, Patriot Mobile, Mammoth Nation, W Energy Drinks, Payworld, and our Threadless store, and soon Printful store. It's actually up. I've just got one thing in it. Got to get some time to add the things to it. We appreciate you. Take care. Yeah.